Hi, welcome back to my channel. Okay guys, so we're getting there. The last couple of days I've proceeded on without the camera, guys. Let's run down at what I've done so far. You would have seen the last video that I started putting the internal drawers together. We can see now the drawers have actually been put together. I've since also laid some carpet down on the base and I've put a little divider in the middle. Now hopefully you can see what I mean by having that ledge out. So the drawer runners are going to be running right through along there. So I've widened it out at the top, which left a lip. So what I've done is I just used the same ply and I just glued and screwed it on. I used one of those countersunk bits. I had to go uptown to buy the countersunk bit. I couldn't find the countersunk bit, so I went up, and luckily at Bunnings I purchased a set of 3 for only $5.35, and all 3 different sizes, so I thought that was a bargain. So I got some screws, glued and screwed that together. Very happy how strong it is. Now weight wise, I haven't weighed it yet, but let's go grab the scales and see what it weighs. Now these scales are a little bit wobbly, guys, so hopefully they'll do the trick. As you can see, this will give you an idea just how light it is. 8.5 kilos, guys. So the inner drawer is 8.5 kilos. Unfortunately, I cannot weigh that, guys, because it's gone off the scale. So, surprisingly, it's heavier than I thought. And I think the biggest contributing factor to that is how heavy those drawer slides are. Because remember, those drawer slides are 14.5 kilos. Is it heavier than I expected? My oath, it's heavier than I expected. I thought I would have come out probably about 15 kilos. Anything over 20 kilos, I was going to be a little bit disappointed, but 20 would have been okay. So I think we're looking at, well, I don't know, my scale went up to 20 kilos, guys, and that went over 20 kilos. And I hadn't even put the lid on yet. So all that's left to do is put the lid on, but that doesn't weigh a lot. But in saying that, it's probably still another 3-4 kilos there. So, majority of it, well at least all the sides of this timber here is made out of that lighter weight timber. Now in hindsight, if I was to start again, probably the first bit of timber, I probably would have started with that as well, the lightweight material. But like I mentioned in a prior video, the problem with that is that the fact that that ply was not very strong. Whereas the ply that I've used, particularly for the outer, apart from this one here, that one is the lighter weight ply, hence why you see I had to put some bolts straight through. I didn't trust it with screws alone, whereas this one no problems at all, even though I still put 2 bolts in there. But I spoke about that in the prior video. Guys, I was just doing this video as quick as possible because it's super hot in here. It's absolutely crazy. So all I did today is I actually did a bit of the carpeting, and I started preparing the outer to fit inside the vehicle. So you might have noticed, gosh, I'm sweating like a pig. It's crazy in here, guys. I've drilled a little hole in here. There's this point in the car where I can bolt onto. So I'm using that one with this big bolt, go right through. But before I put this in the car, probably the next step I need to do now is I'm going to mount this inside there. Very critical I get this correct, so I'm going to use a couple of tables. What I might do, I need to find some spaces. I was going to use these as spaces because I've got two of these, but I'm going to need to get a little bit higher now to allow for this nut on there. So I'm going to need to look for another 2 or 3 spaces that I can use. And then what I'll do is I'll sit this carcass in here, and I'm going to start fastening from here. Like I'll have this out so far, and then I'll fasten onto here, and as I fasten I'll pull it out a little bit more and then screw on as I go across. That should be easy enough because I need to screw from the outside as well. And luckily these drawers, as you can see where you can't see at the moment, so pretty much this drawer will come out all the way. Now on the back here, see I've got a spacer here. I'm going to have this little area, if I can, as long as I've got enough, as long as this area here is enough room for my pots and pans and plates and cooking utensils, and then I'm going to have this area for my electronic gears, you know, like CB radios, handout CB radios, phone chargers, etc., tablets, etc. And to give easy access for that, so I don't have to pull the drawers all the way out, on the top I'm going to have it so I pivot this back end here. I'm just going to put a couple of hinges there so I can lift this up and drop that down so I can gain easy access here. And inside here I'm going to build a couple of trays. One for the cutlery and another one for nicks and knacks, whatever I want to put on there. So the building's not finished, but I think before I do that I might as well get this ready, get this mounted in there, and then what I'll do is I will get the lid on, and then going to put it into the vehicle. I just thought of something, guys. See, I need to access this, and I've got the lid on here, I won't be able to access that. But if I put that hinging point here, more thinking going on here. What I might do now, while I've got you on camera, I'm going to need to find some spaces there, ideal, high enough so they'll clear that nut on that bolt. So I've got 2 of those on top of each other. I have to go this side. So guys, this is the first time I've actually fit this in here. I haven't seen what it looks like yet. So how's that? Do we have too high a gap here? I think we do. I found a way. Pencils. I think they're the perfect thickness. They'll be perfect when I go to wheel it out. So I reckon it'd be ideal. So that's what we're going to use. Pencils. Appears to be the perfect height. We might as well start mounting it in. So we've got some timber screws here. So we're going to use 8 gauge by 15, so they're 15 mils long. Ooh. Let's put the first screw in. So in order to do this, we need to get this done one at a time. Okay, that seems to work alright. So see the idea what I've got? I can't think any other better ways. So I'm just going to take my time with this. This is a very critical, and it's one step I don't want to take a shortcut on. I need to make sure that this is strong, and I think it will be, because already just this front section is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws just there. Because we're just drilling into, beautiful. I reckon that's working pretty good. Using those colouring pencils, they're perfect. They were the perfect height, and the draw actually slides on the pencils. I was worried about this step. I thought this step would have been very difficult. So guys, what do you think of the build so far? And I've been getting some favourable comments, which I really appreciate that. And thanks for watching the videos too, for supporting me. I've had my best YouTube week, the past week has been my best ever. So this could get tricky. See the draw runners here? I'm not able to access here. Well, push the latch down on the front, release it, and when you do that, and then just move this across, and then you'll see this hole here, and that's what you do. Excuse me, back. You then line this up with the holes, and you can see there's one right there. There we go, see? We've got one right there. So that can be very tricky if you're not familiar with installing these drawers. To go put one on the other side. I'm going to need to put some weight at the back there, just to stop this from flipping over. How about me old kick-ass 20 kilo plus glass solar panel? I got that sitting right out the back there. just to make sure she don't flip. There's the next screw. There's a bit of a gap there. Let's go put one on the other side. So what we'll do after this is we'll slowly go back and make sure have not missed any. There's another one there. Another one bites the dust. Boom, 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 boom. So I'm going from one side to the other, doing each side. So you can see how that drawer comes out all the way. One more. So that draws out all the way. So I've had quite a few people ask me, why don't I use the Teflon runners like Drifter does so I can get a wider draw? Well, not really what I wanted, guys. I wanted drawers that I can pull out all the way so I don't have to dig for to get stuff. So many people now make drawers that only come out 75%, 80% of the way. And I can understand why they do it, because it does help to keep the weight down and keeps the cost down enormously too, because these drawer slides are quite expensive. You probably can't see the drawers fully, the whole lot fully extended. When it goes in the vehicle, I'll be able to show you. I can go over the whole lot and show you exactly what it looks like. So at least you've got a bit of a glimpse now. But certainly on the final stretch here. So what I've got left to do now is basically to mount the lid. So I'm going to permanently mount it for the first probably 40 centimeters or so off the end. I'm going to have it so it hinges open, so I can access this area here without always having to pull it out all the way. Pull it out, you know what I mean? Without emerging, pulling the drawers out all the way. It's hot in here, guys. I'll go inside and have a nice cool drink shortly. So, perfect. Let's see how she goes. How smooth it is. Oh, can't complain about that, guys. Oh, that's so smooth. And that's locked out. And should also can't tell you how smooth that is. I'm really happy with that, and there's no rattling. That's solid. Sweet. Alright guys, that'll do for this video. I think this is part 14. So we've probably got another 2 or 3 or maybe 4 parts to go. Because as I mentioned, the next thing we're going to do is install the lid, the top part on this. And then we're going to mount it into the vehicle. And then we are going to make the two, remember, still got the two trays I'm going to make to fit into here. And then also I want to design a cutting board that'll sit in here. It'll come back about 40 centimetres or so out here. So I'm thinking about going uptown and go grab one of those really nice fancy cutting boards and cut it down so it'll fit in here. So we'll see how we do that. Not sure how that's going to work yet, but we'll figure it out, figure out something and go from there. So till next time guys, look after yourself, please subscribe, put a like, and cheers, look after yourself. I think I said that. Bye.